Alright, here we go. This is a 3v3 custom match on Nesthorn between the green team in the upper left-hand corner, MCcombat in the Tomcat Chopper, nobody172 in the Envision Osprey, and Intellect in the Standard Neo, versus the bottom right-hand corner, the red team, Happytree in the Standard Striker, Triton in the new Fancy Schmancy, Steampunk Warthog, and WolfCuB in the Standard Osprey. Taking a look at the loadouts, we have nobody172 with Sams. He is bringing that 2 mid for the rush, 4 mid at the beginning. Intellect does have turtles in his loadout, which you pretty much never ever see anymore. So let's see if he's able to use that to his advantage. Happytree does have boomers and boxers, so we might see some some boomer boxes here. And WolfCuB, speaking of WolfCuB, is going to go for the early cheese, or the early close rush, the early factory rush. He does have boosters and bombs. So we might see some triple and maybe even quadruple bombing runs. Right now, there is no one on green team handling this rush at the top. So actually, this goes to red, and it's very surprising to me that no one was able to notice that and came up at all. I guess the rush for mid on Nesthorn is extremely, really infamous for that. You really have to take mid as fast as you possibly can on Nesthorn. And right now, mid is actually also under red's control, but however, probably not for very long. Happytree trying to get as much defensive probes in there, but there are a lot of green units surrounding this area, and MCcombat is shooting everything down. It does go back down to neutral. Happytree dropping 2 artillery, but it's not really going to do anything. So green will probably be able to fully take control of this area. Even though Happytree is bringing more, he's only having defensive probes in his loadout, right, or in his build queue right now. So that is probably not going to be enough to keep that, keep that from MCcombat, which is probably going to drop a lot more. But red does have a pretty good hold on this outpost. They have 4 Longhorns surrounding with an extra hat in for air support, but nobody172 coming down to this bottom factory for red. Let's see if anybody responds. No, none of the red players are coming down, and nobody is gonna eventually neutralize this outpost. Happytree is not. No, Triton and WolfCuB are still up here, and now nobody has neutralized this outpost, and Happytree finally comes down, but not in time. This outpost is green, and right now there is no defensive units, but that creeper does kill all those red infantry, so there is nothing contesting this outpost anymore. But look at this. There's so many units around here now. There are 4 artillery over here for red, so this battle for this close factory is going to be really harsh. But on the other side, WolfCuB is trying to do his best to neutralize this, but with the Osprey, with the tickle cannon, is not really going to be able to do it very well. And Intellect does take out Triton right there, but it's not really going to do too much because now red has a really good foothold on that outpost. Red trying to fight back right here, trying to take this outpost with just infantry spam. It's not really going to do much. They really need to start bringing units over. There are no units in queue for any of the red players except WolfCuB has a flacker right now. But it's not really. I think this is actually going to be an entire fight for this area and a fight for this area from both sides, and depending on how they allocate their players, it's not really gonna that's gonna really determine who's gonna be able to take control in this game. Now, green does have mid, and they have a fair amount of units, not too many, but just enough probably to hold it for now, especially in the early first quarter of this game. And, they do, well, green kind of has enough units over here as well, but this is one that's really secure. This and this are actually completely unguarded. So if any of the green or red players go for that extra power station, and nobody dropping at the front door right now, gonna take a lot of damage out, and all 3 red players are already at the top. None of them have been. Okay, now Happytree finally coming down to respond. He does hear the panic noise of the damage going down, but nobody already evacuates that Longhorn before Happytree gets back and does save it before it even gets a little bit under fire. I probably would have just left it there to get a little bit more damage done on the fort, but this outpost doesn't really have too many defenses, and nobody corner defending with that Longhorn. I really do like corner defending. And Intellect trying to dogfight and almost taking, well, not almost taking down, but doing a good job chasing people down, and MCcombat getting taken out again by triton420 this time. And now, let's see. Nobody still has pretty much the same amount of units over here. He does not have that much money because each team has taken their close factory. The abundance of sockets for each team is very, very low. And actually, if you look at this, there are 0 moneymakers on the field for either team. Oh, actually, okay, there are 3 moneymakers over here for red, but green doesn't have any moneymakers on the field. So green is a little bit credit starved right now, and they do not. For example, nobody has been sitting over here the whole time and hasn't been able to drop any. Oh well, he's been dropping buckies over here. I would have, in fact, I would have actually instead tried to defend that outpost from red, which is probably a little bit more important than getting a little bit initial, damage off. But there is a lot of dropping over here from red team, and green's life is going down really fast. They really need to start blocking. They really need to start moving their units around. Triton ripping it up with that Warthog, and oh my God, there are so many. And MCcombat almost getting killed, and there are no more units over here. But and actually, funnily enough, both teams have a give or take the same fort health, and WolfCuB and Happytree going down in that exchange. But the thing is, the big difference in this match is that red and Triton getting killed also in a complete wipe for a moment there on for red team. On red team for green team. The big difference I see though is this is, well, it used to be, but this is and kind of was. Well, let's see the state of it in a minute or so. But this outpost is really well defended, whereas this outpost for green doesn't really have that many that many units defending it. So red could much more easily take this outpost back from green. Versus an MCcombat calling up for moneymakers. Really need those moneymakers. Intellect is building them, and he will put them down on mid, which is not really going to be a contested area for very long. This is actually a double close outpost battle for both teams. Well, double for both teams. But anyway, yes, it is a double close battle. Triton over here doing a little bit of air to ground, almost getting killed by that T-99. Nobody shots. But you know what? MCcombat pushing up a little bit closer with this tank, using that as a tank wall, and almost kills that Longhorn that WolfCuB does pick up and save. But looking at this, Intellect is putting down another moneymaker. I would replace those other hats over there with moneymakers. Actually, I mean, it's really going to be a huge benefit, and the hats don't really need to be on the sockets. You can even bring them down here to this area over here and put them on these sockets, because this area is the one under contest, and this area is the one with a lot of flyovers by red. Now WolfCuB has all of his points into heal, nothing into carry, so I do not think we're going to see those multiple bomb drops anytime soon. But now Intellect and MCcombat, or Intellect and yes, is that MCcombat? Yes, that was Intellect and MCcombat, or nobody in MCcombat. I'm getting a little confused here. There are too many players in this game, but a boxer actually coming down here for red. This outpost is neutralized, and now green. If I were either MCcombat or nobody, I would scramble to grab some infantry. But they have been able to take control of this power station, and so now red is actually technically behind now, even though they have such a good foothold on this outpost. They don't have very many. They don't have any. They don't have as many outposts as green does. However, this is neutral and protected by the T-99. But all the action is happening up here. There are no red players actually in this area except for WolfCuB, and he is the only one here. And now Happytree trying to take this over. He is dropping boomers, will neutralize this outpost very quickly, and I don't know if he'll be able to. Let's see if he'll be able to get enough red infantry over there in time to be able to take it. Now nobody is trying to grab some SAMs, and actually none of the green players are trying to retake that power station on the right side there. Happytree is trying to drop and trying to take some over there. This outpost is going to go, almost went to red, back to red, but that T-99 was shooting directly and does go back to red now, but probably will go that back down pretty quickly unless Happytree can pull some stuff out of queue. No, it does go back down. And as of now, WolfCuB is sitting over here with a lot of red units, has one down here firing into this clump. There are not that many defending units on the front door for green team, and once again, this outpost is neutral. Red has not been able to take it, and now does. Triton is shooting at that T-99, doesn't kill it, but is he going to be able to? Yes, he finally takes something out of queue and is going to start to reinforce this factory over here. But Triton does get killed by the T-99, does stay in that area for way too long, and Happytree is doing his best to try to get this, in red's control, bringing probes. That Seeker that was dropped by Happytree, or I think by WolfCuB, will go down, and that outpost is still neutral. It's almost back to red. WolfCuB doing his best to try to fight over here. Oh, Yeah, at the top. And down here, it's Happytree taking it back for red, almost has it, and there's only one, now another green. Oh, actually, there's a T99 hidden here, and there was a Bucky hidden here, just got killed. But once again, hide in trees if you possibly can, especially if you're green. Hiding in trees is amazing and will confuse the hell out of players. It confused me just now, and I'm just a spectator. So, yeah, hiding units is really, really good if you hide them in trees. A halftime heal does kick in now. Both teams do get a third of their life back, but do not get any credit boost because they both had a lot of life gone. And now this is still very, very much under Red's control, and now Green has lost this bottom factory that they had at the beginning of the game. Now the most power they have is mid, and I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it with, well, actually it is a 2v1 in this area. Triton putting down Hat, and he is a Warthog, so he will be able to focus as much firepower as he can on one of the mechs at a time. He has only anti-air over here, but this outpost does go neutral. Nobody does get killed by Triton. What a great liftoff and shot into that area from Triton. Wow. MCcombat almost gets killed himself, but does heal up. And right now, WolfCuB doing his thing, maintaining the front line right here in front of the outpost for Green. And the longer they have this outpost, the longer they don't, that Green does not have these sockets, and that is all the better for Green to have right now. And now nobody is maintaining mid. Not nobody like as in no one, but nobody, the player, nobody172, the player is maintaining mid, and there is a short, well, Triton's trying to do a little bit of harass in there, but it's really not going to do anything, especially with just the air-to-ground. Warthog's air-to-ground is so much weaker than its, you know, than its ground-to-ground or its air-to-air, so it's, you know, it's not really going to be that effective. But Happytree now bringing some boomers, not using those boxers to deliver them, but try and bring some boomers over here. They are in front of a Gemini, and for some reason these infantry went all the way over here to this infantry to attack, but that splash damage has neutralized this outpost, and 2 red bulbs do go up, however long they will last. They are up, and Happytree bringing more boomers, trying to take down these socketed units, and probably will take down this T99, but nobody healing it the entire time. I thought he was going to pick it up, but he did not. And right now, the battle is still right here at mid. Happytree not letting up with the boomers, just boomers all day for him, and actually does get taken out by nobody right there. By nobody172. This is going to be a little problematic trying to cast with this guy's name. But there is a little bit more drops over here by red. Actually, not drops, just the players. I think there is no debris that signifies there was something dropped. But there is not many units left over here on the front of the fort for red. If I were red, I would just try to push this area as hard as I possibly can. Try to divert Green's attention from mid. And once you gain a little bit more of an advantage, then that's when you go for mid. Nobody is coming over here bringing a Gemini. Is he going to drop it on the side? He is going to drop it on the side. It is not. It's getting through with one of its guns. The other gun is being blocked by that Longhorn, and it will get taken out by that Longhorn eventually. Happytree coming back to respond, but it's not really too necessary, and he does get killed very, very quickly. Nobody does go down to Happytree trying to save that Gemini. Probably not a good idea. You really don't need to save units that are dropped at the fort. It's not, I mean, and he didn't really have anywhere to bring it to because the closest outpost was mid for him, so it was pretty dangerous for him to try to do that. But now, finally, oh, and Triton taking out this power station while Green is distracted, and nobody trying to come back here, but he doesn't come with any units, so it's really literally a 1v1 with a Warthog versus an Osprey, and MCcombat coming to support, and Triton is forced to get out of there. And they're trying to chase him over their outpost. And MC, really overextended, almost gets killed. I think if Triton was gonna chose to chase down MC there, he probably would have gotten him. But now this outpost finally getting neutralized. All those creepers going off. Holy crap, that was a lot of creepers. But once again, this outpost is so well surrounded by red units that it's not going to be able to be taken very quickly at all. MCcombat shooting more rockets, as you know, if you have nothing, if you have no units to move around, or you know, if you have any extra time at all, just shoot rockets as much as you possibly can with your chopper. There is no reason why you shouldn't be shooting rockets unless it'll get you killed. So as much as possible, shoot rockets with your chopper. That's one of the things I try to do as much as possible while playing chopper. And now Triton ripping it up with his Warthog. There are a couple artillery firing in over here, and he does kill that Longhorn. He did have bombs there. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do. But this outpost, this outpost is very, very well attacked by green. It does go to green. All the red units over here are dead. Now the fight will be a typical Nesthorn, or actually a typical AirMech game, where the battle is for mid, which right now is under no one's control. There are no units at all except for this one Longhorn on the left side from green, and they are evacuating it. And this is kind of a reset match at higher levels now. We are at 8-6-7 and 7-8-7. There are a couple Goliaths on each team, but they have not been produced yet. And right now, an MCcombat is instructing nobody to secure close and then go for mid. I think that was the instruction. I just caught that right at the tail end of the display of that message. But yeah, Triton doing another drop over here. Only has 3 infantry, and nobody is coming up really, really quick to defend it. And he only gets 2 bulbs down before there is a sufficient response over here. And in defensive infantry are not dropped yet, but there are going to be creeps that will be able to eventually get in there. Now green has a pretty good hold on mid. They have 4 units over here defending as opposed to none for red. Red does have 2-3 Berthas firing in here, and is this another one? I don't see hiding behind trees is even hard to see for people that are spectating. Like, even though I know there's a unit over there, I can't even tell what it is. So imagine what would happen if it was in the middle of battle. It's really hard to tell. You can just see that there's something over there, but is it really going to be determined what it is? And especially if it's a hat, it's just going to kill you. So right now this is red. They have been able to clear out a lot of the green units very quickly, actually. Buckies are the only thing left here for green, and red has taken pretty good control with all 3 of their mechs here, trying to kill all the green units, but boom, it does go back down with high-level creeps getting dropped over here, and Triton kills nobody out of the sky, and and MCcombat gets killed by WolfCuB. Will Intellect get killed for the final 3rd player, and he is really deep in enemy territory. Is he going to be able to survive this? He does kill WolfCuB and Happytree. Oh my god, good job, Intellect. And Triton is okay. Now nobody is here to support, although the Intellect is almost dead, and the 3rd member, albeit not during the time that the other 2 were dead, but the 3rd member of the green team does go down. Nobody and MCcombat are actually here to support each other in this fight for mid, but now a lot of infantry getting dropped by red. That's exactly what you do when it's a neutralized outpost with not really much around it. Just start to drop infantry, and now red does have it. Nobody going down to Happytree, and I think Triton was also involved in that dogfight. And again, now MCcombat getting focus fire down by all 3 red players, and MCcombat is not happy about that, as no one would. So Intellect and nobody are back though, but this fight for mid is just non-stop. No one has good control of it yet, and Triton is trying to fight Intellect here, and Intellect is trying to fight Triton is what I should say, because Triton is the Warthog, but Intellect does get the better of him there because there were a lot of defensive units over here, and we do see a turtle out here on the field for Intellect, but it is under fire from artillery. And so it actually died. Wow, it looks kind of like it's alive. The dead appearance of a turtle looks a lot like an alive appearance of a turtle when it's just curled up into a ball. So that turtle was not really used to the best of, to the best that it could have been used. But we did see it, and that's amazing. Personally, I think that's amazing. Now Triton trying to do a drop and neutralize this outpost, but Intellect is here very, very quickly to fight him off. He does neutralize it. Intellect did not do an EMP there at the end. I was very surprised about that. You usually see a Neo player spamming EMP as much as possible, but God, look at all of these Berthas for red. No wonder green has such a hard time holding it. They have such a good coverage of Berthas. Look at that, and it is all firing all in here. And they're all pointing exactly where they need to point, straight into the middle. And although this, continuous defensive infantry and a lunchbox are here, I don't think green's gonna be able to hold this very well. Triton almost getting killed by I think that was nobody. And but okay, so yeah, actually green has been able to hold this for a lot longer than those Berthas would clearly indicate them to be able to. But it does go back down to neutral, and there are 4 high-level creeps that go in this area into the outpost for red. Triton does get killed. MCcombat and Nobody, and is Intellect here as well? Yes, Intellect is here as well. They are trying to retake this outpost. But once again, those Berthas are not going to be able to be stopped. There are a lot of red units in support over there, and WolfCuB trying to fight all 3 green members over here. And Happytree also, oh my god, he's going to go down. No, almost. Very, very close. And WolfCuB, man, it's just a huge dogfight here. This is really what happens in 3v3s. There's so many people that, you know, it's just really difficult to try to keep track of everything, and you just really need to fire out as much as you possibly can. And if all 3 members of your team are firing into a fray, if any one of the opposing team members, you know, if any one of the enemies go into that area that you're all shooting into, it'll be like 1 second until they're dead. Kind of independent of what mechs all 3 of you are. Now Triton dropping over here, trying to get some moneymaker harassing, does kill 1. MCcombat picking up the other 2, and now Triton forced to okay, he is trying to get away, but he takes a really weird arc around the other green controlled power station. Almost that is kind of dangerous, but does get back to his outpost. This outpost now this middle outpost is red now, just going back and forth and back and forth. And there are, you know, every time that red takes it, green evacuates their units. Every time that red takes it, every time that red takes it, green evacuates their units, and every time green takes it, red evacuates their units, or they just explode. And we do see a boxer down here for Happytree. Is he gonna try to load them with boomers? He is coming to the front door. I don't know where he's trying to go with it. He is gonna drop it right here at the fort, and this boxer is just gonna shoot at the front. I'm not really sure what the point of that was, because boxers shoot for practically nothing. MCcombat is gonna kill it. I hope it's loaded with boxers. If it's oh no, there are no lights up in that boxer, so there are no boomers inside. It would have been really cool to see MCcombat try to kill it like head on, and then all these boomers come out and, you know, blow him up. But that didn't happen. That's very I'm kind of sad about that. But Happytree does still have the opportunity to do that later in this match. And now the battlefront has been changed. Red has been able to take this and secure it pretty well, and has brought some of their Berthas up. A lot of the Berthas sitting over here still. They really need to move them up over to this area to be able to try to combat against the green front line here. And now Triton again doing a lot of moneymaker harass. There is nobody over here to take it. Intellect dropping high-level creeps over here, but there are only 3, so it's not going to be able to be enough to kill anything, or to take the outpost, even if it does go neutral. But Triton does a pretty good job with it. I think he killed 1 or 2 moneymakers there. Intellect does not get that EMP off in time, and Triton does get back to his outpost. And now with the bombs, there are not many clustered not too many clustered units over here. He is gonna go just for 1 at a time, and there's actually these are artillery, dude. Just drop like right here and start shooting at it. You're a warthog. But and that's what he does. Yes, he does get to do that. I guess he just needed to use up those bombs that were in his queue. He does kill one Bertha, and he does get killed right there by high-level creeps. With a lot of the damage going down from... Oh, and actually this outpost gets neutralized again. Oh, and green does take it. So green now has this forward factory, and will probably be... I'm gonna make a prediction here and say that they will be able to hold it pretty well. This outpost does get neutralized, and you know, all the red units are gone. Green is gonna take it. Nobody is shooting into this, is trying to kill Triton, but Triton is very low on life. Does get taken down by MCcombat, and Nobody's focus there. Double dogfight. And this outpost is very much under Green's control. Happytree bringing boomers over here. They all do neutralize this outpost, and is Happytree going to be able to bring enough? Oh, he's actually bringing more boomers. He is gonna, you know, they don't go in, man. They have to be creeps. That you have to grab them. Let's see over here right now. Red is just focus firing, or green is focus firing all of Red's units down here. MCcombat and Intellect both shooting in. These Berthas are starting to go down. Those Berthas and hats. Happytree bringing more boomers. Happytree is not stopping with the boomers, and he will be able to neutralize this outpost very quickly. And the boomers are going to go in because there is once again nothing over here. All these outposts are getting cleared so fast, and Happytree trying to take back this, or not trying, you know, trying to shoo away the green players over here, and it does go down to neutral, and hopefully he will be able to retake that if he, you know, hopefully for him. Happytree is trying to slice up all these guys, but ooh. And WolfCuB is here to help him. MCcombat is going to be chased away from this area. No, he comes back. There are no green units except for those two that are visible right there. And there are absolutely no red units. But, you know, this is a neutralized outpost, and it is kind of dangerous to drop if you are either team. And MCcombat does go down to WolfCuB. And Triton finishes off all the green units over here, but once again, green is mid. Once again, all the time, just because everything that's happening in this game has happened already. We are at overtime 1, almost to overtime 2. Bleed out will start very soon, but as the mid has not been controlled by anyone for a while, I don't know. The bleed out is going to be kind of even. Finally, when finally when it does when it does hit overtime 2, I don't know who's going to be in control of this mid outpost. It might be nobody. Nobody as in no one, not nobody172, but this will probably just be neutral. And that's been the theme of this entire match. Green has not been able to take this back. MCcombat is almost dead. Triton is going to get the air to ground and finish him off. And Intellect also goes down to Happytree. Nobody's the only one here left for his team, and he is gonna probably lose the units that are over here in the mid section. And Triton is finishing off all the yes, is finishing off all the units over here. Now overtime 2 is starting to clear out all the HP or the fort health for each of these teams, and actually is doing it at the same rate, or at least was until Red was able to take this outpost. And once again, mid is still under contest. I hope this is not going to just be a complete bleed out, but now overtime 2 has hit. We will start to see a bunch of drops. Nobody trying to drop a Goliath, but Triton killing him, but nobody was able to drop this Goliath before, and now causing Triton to try to kill this, forcing him to take the time to kill this. It does not reach the front door, but there is a very, very good wall in front of the red fort, and there is not that great of a wall in front of the green fort. And nobody going down there to red units, but was also getting hit very hard by all the red mechs in there in that area. And now, yes, both of the sides of their fort on red side are blocked. Intellect dropping creepers, gonna get some off, doesn't completely neutralize these bulbs, but actually nobody is gonna try to take this outpost, and right now this outpost has been neutralized, and so green is gonna bleed out a little faster. Oh no, but they do have control of middle. Oh, not anymore. So green is bleeding out a little bit, slightly faster, and I mean, look at all these units over here for red. Red really needs to start ferrying units to mid so they can actually gain control and keep it, versus what they've been doing is just exchanging back and forth. Green has not been able to retake this outpost yet, and it's really just, for me looking at this, it's just a click fest. I really have to go from outpost to outpost just because there is so much action going on at every single one that it's really hard to keep track of. Red has been able to keep their outposts, but green still hasn't been able to fully take this, and there is going to be a couple more drops over here. One over here by Triton, but Triton really should just try to drop in a different area because this is blocked by a Longhorn. The Longhorn does get destroyed by Triton, and Triton is shooting in. Green is losing life very, very quickly, especially with all these drops that were happening before. Green only has about a quarter to a fifth of their life left, and right now MCcombat and nobody forced to handle this Longhorn by themselves. Now, still, mid is not controlled. I think this is probably the game that I've seen. I've never actually seen mid not controlled for this amount of time by one team in any game so far. Now bringing a Bucky and a Longhorn. He is an Osprey. I would have expected probably 2 Longhorns, but he does drop it over here. I don't know if he'll be able to take care of this blocking Longhorn before he does go down. And that drop did nothing because that Longhorn has not been able to dispatch. Was not able to be dispatched, and this drop is also doing nothing. And MCcombat does kill that, or the Longhorn kills the other one before that gets killed. And there is, funnily enough, a moneymaker over here blocking for green. And this middle outpost does go green, but that will do nothing for green at this point because they're so low on life. They really need to start doing drops. MCcombat with the chopper, bring it to the front door. Does make a slight hole. Is this gonna? I don't know if that Longhorn was firing in at all, but now it's such a low. Green has such little life, and that corner drop from I think that was WolfCuB in the Osprey that was able enough to finish off green team's health. Green team takes this match, or red team takes this match Happytree, Triton, and WolfCuB do win this custom 3v3. This is our UI, and that's game. See you next time.